Yeah, hi there, my peeps. It's great to see that you're all doing well and that you're keeping safe. You're maintaining the social distance and you're improving on your personal hygiene. First is my heartfelt condolences to the guys who have been able to lose their loved ones during this time. And to those ones who are nursing a loved one, believe you me, I know how hard it is. I have been there before. I have nursed a loved one, and it is never easy. But the thing that kept me going during those time was one scripture that I held dear to my heart, Deuteronomy 33:25, which says, "As your days are, so shall your strength be." And therefore I ask you to master your strength this very day. Whatever it is, however difficult it seems, the way the storm seems not to be passing, just remember that you can master the day according to the strength. Many seasons ago, 39 seasons ago, on a Tuesday such as this, a legend was born. And that legend is speaking to you. It's a Tuesday such as now that I'm told I was brought forth in this world. So therefore, it being a Tuesday, I'll make it terrific for you. I'll give you a nugget of wisdom that I charge many thousands of shillings and dollars. But today, since I'm feeling generous, I'm going to speak to you about the wealth triangle. It is indeed true that many jobs are at stake. Further, it is true that some of you have taken job cuts. Some of you have gone on unpaid leave. Some of you, even worse still, have closed their businesses because of the effects that have happened. And therefore, what it means is that the incomes that have been streaming in for you to be able to achieve some of your financial objectives are either ground to a halt or almost coming to depletion. And therefore, we ask ourselves, what can we be able to do during this time that this pandemic has come over us? There are two things that will happen to each and all of us as individuals. One, you can choose to have a compulsive behavior that will clearly throw you off the cliff, or you can choose to use this time to learn habits that can be able to help you grow in the current dispensation. And as it is, wealth follows a pattern. And it is very easy for you to be able to learn it because everything about wealth is learnable and it's transferable. If you look at a triangle the way it is, that's also the same way a wealth triangle looks like. At the very apex is your pinnacle of success. At one side is what we call the high income skills. These are skills that helps you to create more income over and above your normal residual income. And that's what I would want to briefly talk to you about. How can you be able to improve on some high income skills? The second type and the second part of the triangle is what we call scalable business. This is where now you can actually be able to come up with a business, and from it gives you enough cash flows so that you can actually do whatever you've always wanted to do in terms of investment. So this is a business that is easily scalable, doesn't require a lot of resource to grow it. It doesn't require a lot of your effort to grow it, but organically and on a good period of time, you can be able to grow it. And then, of course, lastly, on the base of the pyramid is what we call the investment of returns on high income skills. And basically, what you're looking at is that you're looking at money which has come from your scalable business or your high income skills. Then you are technically placing them into high yielding investment schedules. And with this will improve your net worth. But next time, probably I'll be able to share with you about the other two sides of the triangle. So today I'll try and speak to you about the high income skills. And currently, as we speak, there are 5 skills that you can actually learn during this time that do not require a lot of your time, that you can pace around with, that are transferable truths, and more importantly, these are skills that you can actually be able to immediately feel the impact and effects on it without having to wait for a long protracted period of time for the schedules to kick in. The other day I was talking to my good friend Alan Asenji. He's trying to get me to climb these mountains. And he's really been doing it. But he told me two critical points. And he told me, Charles, there are two things you need to learn when you're climbing a mountain. Number one is that you do not know the kind of weather that you'll be faced with. The weather changes every other second. You start from hot and dry, it goes to misty, then all of a sudden it will become freezing cold. The second thing he said, you are never too sure what to prepare in terms of what you are going with for the journey. And most importantly, he said it's going to take a lot of your tensile strength to be able to reach at the summit. So I told him, as an entrepreneur, I have climbed so many mountains, and I think I'm accustomed to climbing mountains. But for this one, I'll take a rain check. It's from that precept that I would want to make a canvas of the financial journey based on a mountain, how you can be able to surmount it. And truth be told, today we would want to check how can we be able to learn some of these skills. You know, when you're at home, you can decide to take some time and learn a skill, or you can decide to passively sit and become a couch potato. And therefore, the choice really is up to you. So there are 5 skills that I've felt, and I think strongly enough, if you can be able to look at them categorically, you can be able to see how best that they will increase your incomes and eventually even move you to the ladder of financial independence. And the first skill that is going to be highly marketable, highly lucrative in the industry is what we call the closing skill. Business have changed, and therefore companies are going to look at people who can be able to close for them sales as fast as possible. And this time around is telemarketing. We're going to see an upsurge of telemarketing companies coming around. And therefore the thing is, how do you place yourself as a professional that can be able to close as much sales as possible, that can be able to do a closing for such organizations? Let's not kid ourselves. If you go to an estate, or even if you go to one of these industrial parks, you'll realize that Mama Mboga A is selling a lot of mboga than Mama Mboga B. If you go to a clinic, you'll find that Dr. A is seeing more patients than Dr. B. If you go out there, you'll find that Clinic A is serving more people than Clinic B. And the answer to that is closing. They have mastered the technique of closing. And closing is not just for one industry. It transcends occupation. It transcends location. It transcends gender and race. And therefore, what you need to ask yourself is, how can I master the art of closing that can help me, or that can help other companies or individuals be able to get revenues? Most of the departments will be closed, that's a fact. But the truth of the matter is, it will be hard for companies to run without the sales team, because they need revenue. And therefore you need to ask yourself, how can I be a placement for this revenue? So they will look for people who are very highly skilled in closing techniques, and most of the times they will outsource this business. But of importance is to ask yourself, can I be the person who they will outsource this business for? Whether I'll be outsourced to market a pharmaceutical company, whether I'll be outsourced to market an online product, and so on and so forth, you need to prepare yourself for that. So you better learn how to make the close. If you want to know much more, kindly follow me on my LinkedIn, Charles Musungu. Follow me on my Twitter handle, C Musungu, or even my Facebook. I'll feed you on how you can become a master in closing techniques. The second skill, which you can be able to learn even at the comfort of your home, and it's very easy, is digital marketing. Truth be told, right now, it is almost impossible for a company or people not to do online services. I work in an insurance industry and manufacturing. Initially, these two industries were difficult in terms of how they were spreading out their digital processes. But as it were right now, it is almost impossible not to have those digital platforms online. And look at it, figure it this way. Probably you are an owner of a gym, or you are an owner of a food kiosk somewhere. Right now, before people come back to that gym of yours, it will be so difficult because people now are fearful of what can happen. But what if you turn your routines, the things that you do, what if you turn them into a digital space and push them out into the various platforms? You are going not only to attract people into your funnel, but you can actually charge such workouts and make money out of it. So digital marketing is going to be the in-thing skill going forward. There are some companies which are doing it, but right now, as it were, it is going to be full throttle. So the question that lacks is, can you be able to know how to push digital marketing, funnel channeling? Can you be able to push sales towards a particular funnel? And therefore, as it were, it is important to know and ask yourself, can I also get into the space of digital marketing? Another skill that I see that is going to also grow in leaps and bounds is coding. These are the programmers. Right now, there is no company that is going not to have great IT products that are going to discuss their solutions. And one of the key things is that you'll have people who will understand the mastery of HTML, the mastery of PHPs, and these are the guys who are going to be very high in demand because you are looking at companies that would want to push products, and therefore you're looking at skilled individuals who can be able to code for you whatever business you want, and they push it for you on your digital platforms or whatever places that you're looking for. So it is so important for you as an individual or as a person to be able to understand, can you be able to learn coding skills? Can you be able to learn how to push out a program that can be able to help you? Companies will be looking at that. Millions of dollars are going to be spent on that. So coding skill is going to be one of the skills that will fetch you high incomes. The fourth skill that I think as well is going to work very well for guys that is also closely related to coding skill is copywriting. This is content management. Truth be told, not many companies would know how to place their conviction in a piece of article or in a published article. So if you're very good in published article writing, if you're very good in writing, you can actually convert that into a very high level skill that can earn you so much good incomes. And therefore you need to ask yourself, these companies that will be rendering people redundant, these companies will need to market. These people that are out there that they need their services out to be pushed, they need content that is not only easily palatable to the markets, but it is consistent with what they would want to achieve. So content marketing or copywriting is going to be a skill that is highly, highly on demand. And that is a skill you can learn. That is a skill you can actually put out there, and it can earn you very good money over and above what you've been doing. And that can be done by anyone. At the comfort of your home, you just need to know how to relate the same. I still think if you'd want to know much more about that, follow me again on my LinkedIn page, follow me on my Twitter. I'll give you good feedback on how you can be able to do it and guide you on what you need to do. Last but not least, one of the other skills that I feel strongly are going to affect the current market disposition is project management. Right now, many companies have projects running all and about. And therefore, if you have skills in project management, you can be actually set yourself at a pedestal where everybody else would want to bring for you project and you manage them. Most of the time, you'll manage them virtually, but there are some that you'll physically do. So the person who will have skills to be able to manage projects, multiple projects at the same time, is somebody who is positioning themselves to be able to be in a place to earn high incomes. And as the saying goes, the higher incomes you have, the better chances of you being able to invest it into vehicles that are going to be useful. So for me today, it being my birthday, I felt I'll give you that small nugget of wisdom. And then tune around. I'll be able to share more about the wealth triangle. The next time I'll speak about scalable business. And lastly, I'll speak about high investment vehicles that you can look at. And hopefully, past COVID, all of us are going to have not only learned a skill that is going to help us, but is going to take us to greater heights of the financial summit. Otherwise, it is me here saying thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Thank you very much for taking time to say hi to this son of the soil. And may the God bless you. May you keep a safe distance. And more importantly, may you be hopeful that tomorrow is going to be a better day and a better crossing for you. Have a nice learning curve.